Hey, welcome back to the channel. In keeping with the spirit of doing maintenance, we're going to work on my ZAS here. In the last video you saw I have that whiteboard in the shop. This one I had written down I need to do a different fuel line. It has no fuel filter end line, so it ends up plugging up at the inlet by the float and needle, or the needle, yeah, the needle and seat for the float. It has no choke cable, and I just remembered I need a starter button for this, but I don't have one. So I'm going to install what I do have. Because this thing's been sitting around like some of these, it's got junk in the gas tank and it's coming loose, and it's going either plugging at the outlet of the fuel tank, or it's plugging at the needle and seat in the carburetor. So we're going to install a fuel hose, fuel filter, and a choke cable. Yeah, that's going to be it for now. Let's go. Well, to start with, make sure the fuel's off. Take my ring off. I don't think I'm working with anything electrical, but just in case. So to start with, again, we're going to do the fuel line. I made this nice copper line from here to here to the carburetor, from the sediment bowl, and thought I was pretty clever. It was, at the time, some years ago, I had it running really good and reliable, and oh boy, but I'm gonna need a second wrench, and I don't have one with me, so hang tight and I will be back with that. Okay, a couple more tools. Of course, one of them's not right. Well, that one's not right either. So was I wrong the first time? Wrong, right? Right, wrong? Man, that is a weird size. Alright, well, we'll try that. So there's the threaded ferrule that goes into the sediment bowl. It is giving me grief. Smack my knuckle on the battery. There we go. Anyway, I thought I'd do a real nice job of making this fuel line, which I did. But here just recently, looking at the Z on the other side of this tractor, that original fuel line routing goes here from the inlet of the carburetor to here, up, and then across the hydraulic tank, then down the other side to the sediment bowl. Who knew? I didn't. Tighten that thing up. Should be the end of those tools. Them dar tools. Okay. Now I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. I could zip tie to that. I can get that on. I could put a hose clamp on the carburetor. Yeah, I could zip tie there and just go to the carburetor. Yeah, I like that. Where am I going to put the fuel filter? I think I'll put the fuel filter. Well, that's kind of big. Let's get that out. Put it on the top of the tractor. It's going to blow away. So we'll just throw it on the ground now and save the wind the trouble. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to put that right there. So if I cut right there. Like that. I'm gonna need a couple hose clamps. Oh, these are almost too small. They're probably 5/16 clamps on a 3/8 hose. It's there we go. That's not going to work either. That's not even on the fitting. So let me go get a bigger hose clamp. That didn't take long. It's just a matter of walking over there to get it. Get them. There we go. Yeah, before I could even get started on this, I had to take care of some bees. Not on the tractor, but there's a few bees swarming me while I'm trying to get set up here, and so I stood back and watched them, and they flew over to the Ford 5-bottom plow I've got sitting behind this. It's a semi-mount. Look inside, and there's a big old nest. So there's, I've talked about it before, and I didn't bring this one up before because I forgot about it. I don't know why, because I love it. It's a weed burner. Now, you don't want to use it on the eave of your building that's wrapped in wood or anything, or necessarily in your dry summer dead grass, but I sure used it on that plow. Them bees are gone. Now, it's not quite late enough for all the bees to be bees to be home. BB. They weren't all there, so I see some coming back and wondering what happened to their home. But these are not honeybees, because if they're honeybees, I wouldn't have done a thing. Wouldn't have done a thing with them. Wouldn't have done anything with them. So definitely not honeybees. They're just little jerks with wings, if you know what I mean. Okay. Now we're gonna grab one of these little humdingers here. Should be able to go with a small clamp now, because I don't have any more big ones. Or I grabbed two, so I'll use one at both ends of the hose where it's the most difficult, or the biggest. 3/8. You know what? That should work. Anyway, yeah, I had to take care of the bees before I did anything else. I'm just gonna have to buy more bigger hose clamps. I thought these 5/16 were gonna work because they fit the hose, but I forgot about the barb on the filter, and I didn't think about the size of the threads. So if I do that, zip tie to there, and run it to that, I'm get some zip ties. I would have started it, but as soon as I cranked the sediment bowl open, you can see all the garbage just floating in there, and I didn't want it to rush to the carburetor, so I shut it off quick, and I'm just going to bring all my tools out here, which, as you know, that takes time. Alright, so there's a hole right here. I'm going to tie off to that. We're going to go behind that bolt, so it should hold it. Doesn't have to be real tight. Hey, I got a question for you. What kind of person are you when it comes to cutting zip ties? Do you just get that close as you can and cut that sucker off, and you have that sharp edge sitting there and slice yourself open on a cold winter day anytime you touch it or bump it with your really dry hands? Or do you cut it off flush? So I'll take my knife, I'll put some pressure on it and start to cut, and boom. Nobody's getting cut on that. So what kind of person are you? Cut it flush and smooth so you don't get cut, or you just snip it and don't worry about it and bleed in the winter? Let me know in the comments. If you're a mechanic, I mean, there's mechanics that do it too that don't care. They just throw it on, cut it, and they're done. I've been cut enough. I don't want to be cut again. So, all right. Right about where my thumb is. I'll cut that sucker there. Oh boy, I'm excited. I'm actually excited for this. It might sound weird, but let's see. I'll go that way. We'll take some of the slack out as it's way bigger than the hose, so we'll shrink it down so I don't have to work so hard underneath the tank. So yeah, took care of a couple bees nests and the plows. 2 plows. I have a John Deere pull type 4-bottom sitting next to that Ford plow. Let's see. What else? Oh, there's tractor pull coming up this weekend, the 13th and 14th. Today's what, the 9th? Let me double check that. Yeah, 13 and 14. In London, Washington at the Berthelsen Park in the West Field. So not at the showgrounds, but on the back side of the showgrounds. If you're in the area. If not, stay tuned. I will have a video up for that. I don't know if I'll have a video for that next week or exactly when, but I will. There we go. And I'm going to rotate that up so I can get it with the screwdriver. Well, I had it ready to go. Just have to loosen that thing up and try it again. Good grief. There we go. Now we'll try and tighten it up. So I don't know, 2 or 3 days, Monday I guess, I was shooting a video on working on Twitchy, my Alice WC, my pulling tractor, one of, and I just stabbed my finger with that screwdriver, dang it. Anyway, so I was working on that tractor. I was doing some general maintenance, oil change, plugs. I found another issue with the ignition system I had to take care of, or not, the starting system, excuse me. So I took care of that, and I made a video of it, and was it yesterday? Last night, I sat down to watch a football game, Monday Night Football, and something went wrong, and I accidentally deleted all that footage of working on Twitchy. Gone with the wind. All right, let's turn that fuel on. Hopefully I got enough gas in this thing to... Oh yeah, there it is. Filling up. There's one little tiny floaty. I'm sure we'll get more as... yeah, there's some more. That's all small stuff. All the bigger stuff may end up settling in the bottom of that sediment bowl. But, wonderful. Oh, now it's filling the carburetor. I thought this was going to fill up and stop, but apparently the carburetor's empty, so it's filling the carburetor. Trickling in. As we drive this, that stuff will jar loose and it'll come through. I do not have a metal screen in the sediment bowl, so I'm not catching the fuel or catching the dirt. So it was just going straight into the carburetor and causing me several headaches, or stress related anyway. All right, so fuel system's done. We have no leaks. Let's see about the choke. So the choke, here, let me get you loose. Choke to start with, this is just baling wire, but this is the choke. And the spring on it is broke, but I think the choke cable itself will hold that open when it needs to be open. That's a little clamp on the side of the carburetor, and the choke cable comes here. And I'm not sure how it's supposed to run. This somewhere along this way, probably up over the top of this hydraulic tank. And then there's a little bump right there. I don't know if you can see it in the shadow, but that choke cable runs through here and comes out over here. Where this one is totally cut off. So I could take this panel out, but I don't know if I could get the rusted nut off the back side of this, and I don't know if I could fish that through that tiny hole at the front of the gas tank. So, and I don't want to take the whole tank off, especially after it's zip tying my fuel line to it, but if I can take those two bolts out and lift it up and put a block under it, and then do my work, and then just set it back down. That way, otherwise I got to take, well, the air cleaner's no big deal, but I'd have to take the hood off. Gas tank, just two bolts, but I got these two rusted bolts back here for the hood that I'd have to fight, and I want to see if I can find a cheat. If I can't, then let me put you back here. If I can't get it to slide through the way I want to, then we'll have to do it the way it's supposed to be done. You know what? While I'm in here and I'm losing sunlight, I might as well forgot I wanted to empty the garbage out of the, I don't know if you can see all the dark stuff in there. That is all rust. Alright, got that clean. Let's get that up in there. Slide that down. This has a washer for a spacer underneath the glass, which I'm going to leave there because it seems like I had a problem when I was trying to get this thing running to go to the show. put that back in. Okay, I'll turn the gas back on, and this thing might be out of gas. That is not coming in very fast like it did the first time. I was hoping to check for leaks, but I guess we'll have to wait for that. A minute. Let's see. While I'm waiting for that, I'll get this red fuel line I made out of the way. And we'll start taking bolts off, I hope, without breaking them. They're only like 5/16, and I'm using a 1/2 inch ratchet. Probably not a good idea, but I did it. There's one bolt. There's a second bolt. Fuel both full. It is, and it is not dripping. Good sign, but that also means that my inlet for the, or outlet for the fuel tank is either plugged or, again, I'm out of gas. Hopefully I'm just out of gas. You know what? I'm going to climb up around you, over you. Well, it's, there's gas there. I just don't know if it's high enough to... I don't know if there's a bung inside that has to get up and over to get down in. So, let's see. Can I move the tank? Acts like it's stuck. Huh. Oh, let's see. Get that pry loose. Oh, there we go. Oh boy. I may have to at least undo that hood, which I'm not looking forward to. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but I just heard a tractor start up. I am pretty sure that is Moline. It's out across the raspberry field next door to us. There's a buddy of mine over there that's got some Molines that, what am I doing here? He's got some Molines that he plays with. Oh, what size is this? Not a half, so it must be 9. Oh, hope I don't have to cut that zip tie I just put on there. That'd be terrible. There we go. Yeah, maybe it's not so scary after all. I can loosen this. Maybe I can slide the tank forward. I don't know. Certainly can't lift that with a nut on there, so we'll get that nut off. We'll go around to the other side. Well, I got the nut off the other side. Let's see if I can move this tank far enough. Oh yeah. There's my soup can here. There we go. It's a little further than I wanted to have to do it, but that'll do. Now I got to be able to see. I'm gonna have to get a flashlight. I can't see in there to see what I got to work on. Now if I can weasel this in there, there's no choke cable on it. So there we go. Where's my ratchet now? Right there. I don't care if I break this off or not. So as long as it gets out of the way so I can put the new one in. Let me feel the other side. It's turning. After all those years, the thing is, I can't believe that's turning. Yeah. I'm looking at the wiring under there and it looks scary. Maybe I mean there's some newer wiring. I don't know if I did that years ago or what the heck's going on. My light is not happy with me. Might be the battery's low. Yeesh. Looks terrible back there. I know you can't see it, but I can. I'll finish that, getting that out. If I can do it by hand. Oh yeah. Got it. Here's the old choke cable. Nope. There's the nut. So, won't be that easy to put back together, that's for sure. I don't know how the heck I'm going to do that. Alright, let's set that aside so I can throw that away. And let's see, new package is right here. It's brand new. It's pretty nice looking. I mean, obviously haven't taken it out of the bag, but it does not have a sheath over it, protective. It's just this metal cable, which that's all right too, but it does say choke on the knob. I was looking for that. I didn't want a cheap generic one that's just push-pull cable. I wanted to make sure it said choke on it. And that is a lot like what these old tractors had for print on there. So undo that. That should be long enough. Ooh, that's going to be close. Maybe it's not long enough. Take that nut off. All right, I'm going to go around to the other side and feed it to you. You see it yet? I don't know if you guys can hear that old Moline going, but it's almost behind my property where he's at now. Kind of hard to get back there to him the way I mean, I've got woods between me and the property he's on. It's not his property, but that he's on. It's a piece of his, well, I don't think it's his. Maybe it is. I don't think it is. Oh. I'm trying to arc this thing. Shut. Are you kidding? Ooh, that was warm right there. I touched the battery cable right there on his arc and I could hear it. There, hurry up and stop. Okay, now that should be on top, and hopefully the other end doesn't touch something on the goofy starter. Well, I think I went over the top of that fuel line. Okay, I'm gonna have to fight that thing. Huh. What the? Oh. The old choke had this flat spot on it so that wouldn't spin when you're tightening the nut. This new choke doesn't have that flat spot, so there's a flat spot in the hole I'm trying to feed this through. I don't know if I can get it without having to drill that hole bigger. Oh, I don't want to do that. Yep, I'm gonna have to do that. All right, I'll go get a drill in a bit and we'll hog that thing out. Open the throttle up. Cheating, I'm using a step bit so I don't have to figure it out. There we go. Buddy of mine, Eric. Not my brother, but a buddy of mine. I just love that he has his stuff nearby so I don't feel like the only nutcase that plays with old tractors. At least not in my neighborhood. Oh, don't you touch, don't you touch. The cable is going back for the battery again, so I'm eyeballing and talking to it. Alright, got that in. We're going to have to rotate it. I don't think... Yeah, I'm going to have to rotate it till it sits square so you can read the choke horizontal and not any other angle. Alright, get that washer on. I'm losing daylight pretty fast right now. It's 7:25, it's almost 7:30, and the sun is going away. Not much for clouds. Oop, talking right in your ear. Not much for clouds, so I don't have that to worry about. But oh, okay. I need to disconnect the battery because I got some bare wires in there I'm bumping. All right. I don't know how the heck am I going to get a wrench in there? You can't put a wrench on it unless you like remove one of the gauges almost. Hopefully I can get it all the way on with my finger and then just get a bite with the end wrench to get it snug. Alright, we got that in. Now I got to get it. Yeah, I guess I'll let it go over the top of the fuel line for now. Maybe. Boy, this thing may not be long enough. Well, I don't know if you can tell. It's getting dark. Looks like it's showing up okay on the camera, but it's going to be dark like no light here in about 10-15 minutes. I need to pick my stuff up and put it back in the shop. Guess I'll have to figure something else to work on. You know what? Maybe we'll put that choke cable on my R. Won't be tonight, but here in a day or two. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We got a school board meeting to go to tomorrow. We'll see what time we get home. In the meantime, I will get... I just looked. It's a 47-inch choke cable is what I bought. So I need longer than 47. I need 50 something. 50 would be nice, at least for this tractor. So I'll look that up, get those coming. Maybe even order a push button to start the tractor with, so I don't have to come down here with my special key. And we'll have to come back to this project. So yeah, we'll see you when I have some time.